This video was made possible by EA Game Changers. What's up, chat? Welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to be giving you some more info on the spell casting perks in the new Sims 4 Realm of Magic game pack, releasing on September 10th. Keep in mind, guys, that I will be spoiling some game content, so that's your warning to bounce out of here if you don't want to see the new perk system and you want to wait until you actually have the game in order to discover it on your own. So now that the spoiler warning is out of the way, I'm going to jump right into the spell casting levels and what perks you can choose that go along with those. So I actually have a max level spellcaster right here. I did max her out on my own, and it took about, I was grinding, I wasn't like, doing any store or anything. That I was like pretty much just grinding to make her, gain levels. And it took me, she is now right now Virtuoso, so I mean she still could max out that one, but she's at the top level. But it took about like 2 to 3 hours, I believe. I think it was like 2 to 3 hours that it took for me to get all the way up there. But how you level is essentially you need to learn spells, and you can do that by experimenting on the cauldrons. You can talk to the sages. So if you talk to the sages, then you get a really good relationship with them. You can ask them to teach you a potion recipe, and you can ask them to teach you untamed magic. So that will give you the spells and the potions and stuff like that. Also, if you duel, you get experience just by doing magic, like creating potions and, giving or doing spells. Like that's also going to increase your experience. Reading tomes. So what you can also do is click on the bookcases and do search for tomes. And that's how I found out a lot of the spells, is I searched for those tomes, and it will sometimes give you a tome that you can read. So you can study those. So I studied actually all the ones that I have because I am now maxed out. I maxed out all my spells and stuff. And you can actually get a tome twice. I did get a tome twice. So, but you can only search for a tome for a certain amount of time, and then there's a cooldown. So just to keep that in mind. But essentially doing magic and continually doing magic and trying to learn is going to increase your experience, okay? So let me show you guys the perk system. Let me show you guys the perk system. So this is a max level sim. So the levels start like this. So you start out as an apprentice when you first become a spellcaster. Either you create one and cast, or you actually come here to the magic realm and you ask a sage to turn you into one, essentially. So the first one is apprentice. It doesn't actually take long for you to go from apprentice to Neophyte, which is level 2. And once you get to level 2, you get these ones unlocking. So you actually get some perks. So you don't start off with perks. You actually start off with 0 talent points. And then when you get to level 2 Neophyte, you get 2 talent points, and then you can choose, anything from the bottom level. Okay. And I'm going to go through all of these perks as well and read them and show you guys what they actually do. So, level 3 is the Acolyte, and then it unlocks everything in here, and you get another 2 more points. So now you would be at 4 points. And then level 4 would be Adept, and it unlocks everything on this level. And level 5 is Master, unlocks all this stuff. And then level 6 is Virtuoso, which my sim is, and unlocks these last 3 right here. Okay, so you just keep unlocking talent points as you go until but you get a max of 10 talent points that you can use towards the perks that you want to pick. So again, whatever level you are, it unlocks that row of perks. So now that we have everything unlocked, I can go over and show you guys what it is. Again, this is, you know, if you guys want to figure this out on your own, of course you can, but I'm going to be reading all of this for the people who really want to know, or if you want to really plan how you want to play the game beforehand. I know a lot of people are very excited for this pack, so they kind of want to plan everything out. Okay, so as you can see, some of these ones in these 3 rows right here, you actually need to have the previous, you know, one unlocked before you can go to the next one. So I actually decided to go through this path for my sim. So this is more like the knowledge path. This is more the potion making path, and this is more like the, I guess, dueling or power path, I would say. They don't really say what it is, but I mean, that's sort of my takeaway to it. So like knowledge, potion, and then power. And then these ones are kind of on their own, so you can sort of pick whatever one. Like, you don't have to have the previous. Like, I would need to have a level 1 of this before I can get that one. So as you can see, it's a little bit differently. And this one's kind of all on its own. I don't really... We'll read through them. I'll show you guys what they actually are. So on the first level of the unlocks, for the knowledge path, you have knowledge is magic. Sim reads and does computer research at a faster rate. These interactions also provide magical experience over time. And then for the potion path, level 1, you have the blender arm. Potion crafting speed significantly increased. And level 1 for the power path, you have discharge. The sim can now cast discharge, which empties spellcaster charge. So that will help you if your sim is completely getting full here. And one of the things is you can die if your sim is too overcharged. So that will help you there. Then on the other side, where that's not necessarily a path, you have Incredible Forager at level 1. The sim now receives more items when harvesting magical ingredients in the magic realm. And then you have Experimenter. When experimenting and practicing, sim gains experience faster with less failures. So those are the ones that are unlocked when you reach Neophyte. So now when you reach the next one, which is Acolyte, these rows get unlocked. So you have in the knowledge path, you have Moat Hound. Sim can now always see magical moats and collect them. Moats can be consumed for experience and minor random motive boosts. So what the moat is, and again, this might be a spoiler, but I mean, maybe not. It's just like this glowing orb. I'm going to just insert a piece of footage here so I don't have to like back out. But I'm going to insert a piece of footage of what that is. And essentially you need to collect those in order to become a spellcaster if you're just a human. So you collect those, give those to Sage, and that's how you become a spellcaster. Also, you can pick them up whenever you want, and if you click in your inventory and click on it, you can absorb them, and it's kind of like you eat them, and they give you a little tiny boost of your experience as well. So that's what those are. So I guess you can't... I have this selected, so my sim is able to see them. But you only are able to see them at the beginning when the Sage gives you Moat Sight in order to, find them to become a spellcaster. Otherwise, you will not see them. So this is one perk if you want to collect those and consume them for extra points, if you like. The next one in the potion making path is the Frugal Combination. Chance on potion creation that all of the required ingredients will not be used. If you have the requirements for a potion, let's say it's a frog, chances are that you won't have to use all of it and it will still be in your inventory. So it essentially gives you more out of the ingredients that you have. And then for the, what is this again? Acolyte level, the Power Shunt, and this is for the power path. Casting a spell now adds significantly less spellcaster charge. So it's not going to overload you as fast as, say, you know, normally. So if you haven't seen anything else from Realm of Magic so far, the charge thing here, this little sphere, I know it's a little grayed out right now, but this little sphere, it fills up when you do magic. You don't want it to get all the way to the top or even here, because the higher it gets, and it fills up as you do magic, it does go down after, you know, over time on its own, but you have to not do a ton of magic at once. Otherwise, it's going to fill up and overload you, and you do have a chance of death. So essentially, it reduces the amount of the charge that, you know, builds up in here every time you do magic. The next one, which is just the, you know, random perks for this level, the Acolyte level, is the Insightful Eye. Research, experiment, and tome reading speeds are all greatly increased. So you can sort of essentially get faster at doing your experiments, your researches, so you'll be able to learn your spells more quickly. This one, Spellcaster Socialite. Unlock magical social interactions with other spellcasters that will provide some spellcaster XP. So this will add like an extra special, you know, interaction or like social gain, social interactions like the social bubbles, so that you actually get spellcaster XP. And if you didn't have this, you wouldn't have those interactions as a spellcaster or as a regular sim. All right, so that is the Acolyte level. And then once you reach the Adept, you have this row unlocked. So for the knowledge path, you have the charge control. All spellcaster charge increases are reduced. So again, that's kind of similar to this one in this path. So all spellcaster charge increases are reduced. So essentially very similar. It has to do with your charge, and you just it wouldn't increase as much as usual. Next one for the potion is a little extra chemistry. Potions crafted by the sim are surprisingly tasty and have an additional small benefit triggered when the potion is consumed. So, the potions actually do have a quality. So they are either poor, normal, or excellent. So it's probably makes them excellent. Maybe gives you some hunger. I'm not actually sure, but it will also trigger something else. I would say maybe a moodlet, possibly, yeah. I don't know. Try it out. Let me know. Then we have, for the power, the Spectral Reach. Sim can now cast long distances without having to move closer to the target. Also, Sims no longer know who cast the spell on them, so they won't react negatively to you. So sometimes when you do some mischief magic, Sims react, and they react negatively. So also, if you have the Get Famous expansion, you'll get a bad reputation if you're doing bad magic to people or mischief magic to other Sims, and even Sims around you will react negatively. So I guess that will help prevent that. So if you're into that, there you go. The next one, which is kind of just chilling out here on its own, is the practicality. Practical spells and potions always succeed when a Sim is in a normal spellcasting charge range. Failure is greatly reduced in charge and overcharged states. Usually, if you're really overcharged, your Sim's gonna fail more, because that's sort of like how it's set up. You're not supposed to be doing magic when you're in that overcharged state. So it actually reduces the risk of it failing. So that's great. And then we have the Mischief Master. Mischief spells and potions always succeed when a Sim is in a normal spellcaster charge range. Failure is greatly reduced. So this is the same as the other one. This one is just for the Mischief. So you have the Practicality, you have the Mischief Master, and the Tame the Untameable. Untamed spells and potions always succeed when the Sim is in the normal spellcasting range. So these three are very much the same. So it has to do with the charge, and it gives you sort of like always being able to succeed if you're in a normal range for your charge. All right, so the next level to unlock is the Master. And then when you unlock the Master, you unlock this row, obviously. So for the knowledge, you can get hexproof. Sim is now protected from curses. So when I was first leveling up this sim, I got 2 curses right away. And the first one was the curse of repulsiveness, which is, you know, turns you into the witch. So if you haven't seen my video on the curses, you can check that out. I also got the other really bad one, which was the uncleansable stench. So I was trying really hard to figure out how to get rid of them, and I was just like continually trying to work my way up through the potions and get that one potion that will get rid of the curses. So once I was able to get this, I was like, yes, hexproof, please, no curses. The curses, I don't know, check out the video. I have all of the curses featured in that video, so you can check those out. But yeah, this will protect you from all the curses. And then in the potion tree, the potion path, you have Mix Master. Extra servings will be in the cauldron each time potion is successfully created. So I believe every time you create some potions in the cauldron, you have 4. So I'm not really sure how many this takes or this much gives, but it will be more than 4. So more than 4. The next one for the power path, you have Master Caster. Casting spells no longer fails when the sim is in a normal spell casting charge range. Backfires are greatly reduced in charge and overcharge states. And it also unlocks Natural Mentor. Increased relationship and skill gains when training or experimenting with other spellcasters. So you can actually interact with spellcasters that are lower than you, and you can help them. Which is really cool. So this increases your relationship faster. And then this last one on this level is magical discounts, which is what I wanted to pick. So I picked this one because I was like, yeah, I'm always down for saving a buck. So Sim receives a 50% discount on all purchases from the market stall in Magic Realm. So yeah, magical discounts, always good. And then the last level, when you reach Virtuoso, you have reached the top level, and you are able to unlock one of these top 3 in each path. This one is the Magical Resonance. While in the Magic Realm, the sim is extremely powerful. They are protected by death from the Overlord and can more freely build, charge, and discharge their spellcaster charge levels. Also increased success chance of potion making, drinking, and spell casting. So they essentially become very powerful, especially when in the Magic Realm. The second one, which is the potion path, we have Potent Potables. Effects on all potions are increased and or last significantly longer. Sims can now hex their potions to have them always fail. So you can actually give potions to other sims and they will take them. Sometimes I have been refused. So you can hex your potions to make them fail if you want to basically troll other sims. And then you have this one, which is the top of the power path. Master Duelist. This sim has significantly increased chances of winning a duel and reaps better rewards from them. So you have a chance to duel for different things. You can duel for knowledge, you can duel for artifacts. So it depends on what you pick. And obviously if you have this and you win, you get better rewards. But that is essentially the Spellcaster perk tree. As you can see, it's very different from the vampire one. So the vampire one had, you had to take weaknesses as well. So there is no weaknesses. This is all perks. I mean, but the curses kind of are the weaknesses if you want to look at it that way. Or I guess it's more similar to the Get Famous system, where it's more like the fame quirks that are just randomly assigned to your sims. But yeah, so this is all of the perks. So if this was something that was interesting to you, I hope you learned something today. And thank you guys so much for watching. I have a lot of videos and stuff coming out for the Realm of Magic game pack. And this pack will be released to the public on September 10th, which is this Tuesday. And at the time of this video, if you see this on Monday, I am going to be live on Twitch all day and probably all night, streaming some Realm of Magic. So if you want to catch me live, come on and say hello. It's twitch.tv/holliebbtv, spelled the same. Links are in the description as well. And if you like my content, please hit that subscribe button. I do really appreciate it. But until next time, guys, have fun and bye.